Hey there, in this video we are going to make this stunning contact form using only HTML and CSS. Here you can see we have one image and a form right next to it, and it's completely responsive. The form is completely responsive, and in the next video I'll show you how to actually send the details filled in here into the email. So we are just going to do our email stuff in the next video using only HTML. We are not going to do any backend stuff in there. So if you are completely beginner and want to learn HTML, and that's gonna be a perfect tutorial for you. But first let me show you. This is quite responsive, and I have only used one line of media screen. I haven't used tons of lines of media screen in here. Okay, here you can see our name, email address and question. We can type our name in here like this with a beautiful font in there and beautiful text effect. We can change it to iPhone X, and this is completely responsive in every device. And let's see how it looks like in MotoGP 4. Yeah, it looks cool. And there also, let me show you how this looks when we fill up the form. Let's just keep it as is, and in this question section I just wanna ask a question really quickly, so I can send message by clicking in this message, and it's gonna do some kind of a validation thing. And in here it requires an actual email by typing just @ and gmail.com. Now it's gonna fill up or send our form, but actually we are not sending this to any emails, but rather we are just going to make this contact form. So without getting late, let's jump into our code editor. In this case, in this video I'm going to use VS Code. So I just want to create a HTML file and CSS file. That's the really basic thing we need to do. And in here we have our contact.svg. That's an image. This image, same image, I copied that image in here. So let's quickly create our boilerplate inside our HTML file. Let's change the document title to contact us, and let's open it with live server. How it looks like, let's see how it looks like. And it's a pretty decent web page with our title going on in here, and we don't have any content in our body section. So we want our form to be in there. But first let me create a contact. This is basically a container for containing our image and our form. So image will be the contact.svg. Let's give it the alt message of contact, so people will know if the image is image failed to load. People will know that there was a image related to contact. And in here we are going to just create our form, and we are just going to leave it action as it is. We don't want to interfere with that. And inside our form I want input tag with the type of text, and that's gonna have a name of name. Obviously I just wanna hide this panel from here, and instead of ID I wanna have placeholder kind of thing, and that's gonna contain, or that's gonna ask for full name. Let's duplicate this, and in here I just want to change it to email, and in here also email. Let's say that email address, and below that we want a text area. That's basically a big box. So we show in here. That's not quite big box, but we can basically enlarge this box as we want, like this. And this is completely responsive. Our other fields are responsive. Our this message box is responsive, their image is responsive, all the things are responsive. You can see if I refresh this, it's gonna be in the original place, but we can basically enlarge the content in there by just dragging. So text area is that big box, and it will have a name of messages. Obviously it's gonna contain some message in there. And placeholder, I just wanna ask for your question. Yeah, I just want to ask for questions, not a question basically. Let's save it and look how it looks like. Okay, there is a giant image, and below that there is a giant text box, text area. We don't want that much giant text area in there, so I'm just going to decrease the rows in there to 5, and yeah, basically it's a good thing we did there. And below that I'm gonna create a button with a type of submit, and that's gonna submit our form, and that will have a value of send message. Save this. Let's see how it looks like. Obviously this is a default button. I was a little curious about how it looks like. Okay, now we are done with our HTML file, and that's it. We are not going to manipulate anything in here, and I just want to link our CSS file. That's this CSS file we created earlier. So let's go and share CSS file, and let's just do quick styling thing. So this is basically I'm removing the default stuff from there, so that we'll have more control over our page. And box sizing, border box, so that padding will not interfere between us. And I just want to keep the things simpler, so I'm just going to use a font sans serif in here. Below that I want to target the body element, and let me save it and show you how this looks like. This looks like the previous one, same as previous one, nothing changed in there. Instead of removing the padding and margin, that's kind of default thing. And inside body I just wanna center all the contents of the body, so for that I'm gonna give it a property of display grid, and I just wanna place all the items to center. Let me spell it correctly. To place items to center, that's gonna center all the things. Yeah, image is centered horizontally, but that's not it. To center vertically, because the image is so large. So I just wanna quickly decrease our image size. So image is inside our contact container, so we just need to target our image like this. And inside our image, what I'm just going to do is maximum width, so image should not exceed the width of 600 pixel, and it has quite a large height in here. We have basically set the limit for the width, and I just want to set the limit for height also. Obviously we can maintain our this image in our structure form, but in case if we want to change this image, we need not to do any more stuffs or any other things, so that's gonna be aligned simply in there. So for our image I'm using ondraw in here, so for that illustration I'm using ondraw. So I have picked up one of them. Yeah, I have picked up this design, and I downloaded SVG from here. Yeah, it's completely free, you can use it. You can search for anything in here, and many of the big brands search from here and use it from there, and you can basically change the color from here also. I'm using this color for now. Yeah, you can see that. And for our this beautiful background, beautiful dark background, I'm using it is purple gradient thing. So let me quickly grab this, get CSS, copy to clipboard, or else you can just get the JPG file. I just wanna grab the CSS and I just wanna put the gradient in here, and let me indent it properly. Okay, let me do this properly. Yeah, it looks kind of cool. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, it looks cool, but I don't want here this background. Instead I just want to have a white background. For that I'm just going to target our contact container and give it a background. Sorry, that's background. Let me spell it correctly. Okay, background of let's keep it white for now. Okay, this looks cool, but the contents are not centered in here. Why it is not center? But I have implemented the center property, just centering the things, but that's not working in here. Why is that happening? Because the body is just going to take as much the height the content inside is taking. That means our image and other form stuffs are just taking this much amount of height, so the height underneath it is not taken by the body, so it's not going to center our form until and unless we give it a mean height or simply height. So I just prefer giving it a mean height of 100 ps, so it's gonna cover up our whole screen and it's gonna basically center our image in here, or center our contents basically. And here I just want to give it a padding of 2 rem from top and bottom and 1 rem from left and right, so this looks like this. Yeah, it looks cool, but I don't want this form to be underneath our image. I want these things to be side by side. For that I just need to give it a display of, obviously you know that very well, display flex. Align the items in center. Okay, it's center, and I just wanna do a quick styling of saying justify content of space around, so space will be around our element. Okay, it looks prettier than previous, but not like this one what we wanted to build. Okay, for that we just want to style it further. For that I'm just going to target our form. Yeah, contact form. Inside our contact we have form, not from, it's form. And form will basically have the display of flex. Obviously I love flexbox, that's why I use the flexbox a lot. And flex direction should be column, so that every element or every child inside it has a new row assigned for them especially. And this looks kinda cool, and I just want to quickly style our input elements in there. So inside our contact form we have input elements, so I just don't want to install like that, so want to target it like this. Form, inside our form we have input element. I just want to give it a height of 40 pixel and padding. Yeah, I just want to give it a padding of how much? Yeah, 5 pixel from top and bottom and 10 pixel from left and right, so content will be moved into the center. And it looks kinda old design or a bad design, so I'm just going to remove the outline from there. Set it to none, and I just want to remove the border also, so it looks like this. And obviously it is not visible in here, but the text areas outline is visible and border is visible, and also same goes with button. So I'm basically targeting all the things in one place. Should be text area. And next is from button. Save it, and it looks like this. But I don't wanna have 40 pixel is especially assigned for our text area, so let me do this one. This whole URL, I don't need this whole URL because I have live server running in here, so I don't want 40 pixel for our text area. For that I'm just going to copy this from here, come up in here, paste in here. Form, it should be form button, so I want 40 pixel for both for input and button, so this is going to do this. And it's hard basically increase in here, but we don't have any kind of margin in there, so just going to give it a margin of 0.5 rem from top and bottom, and I don't want to give it a margin from left and right, so this looks like this. But in here we are not really able to figure it out if this is a field for something or not. So for that we just want to dim or darken our background. So here previously we had FFF, that's basically white. Instead of FFF I'm going to change it to EE. So here we have our dark background, slightly dark background, and our things looks cool. But obviously I don't want the things like doing that. I want border radius, this border radius of 10 pixel, and it looks kinda cool. Border radius of 10 pixel, and I'm just going to give it a border radius of 10 pixel in the contact container also. So in here I'm going to give the border radius of 10 pixel, and its edge is not that much sharp in here. Its edge is slightly curved in here. And next stuff, I just wanna style my button in here. Or let's first do change our font or text color. I don't want that color to be in there. I want this color to be in there. Let's copy this color, come up in here, and yeah, I don't want to just give it there. Color should be provided in here, so it will be applied to all the elements inside our form. And let's save, and it looks like this. Yeah, our content or our text color has been changed successfully. After that I just want to style my button, that's submit button. It will have the background color of this one, yes, same color, and this one obviously this should be stand out. There should be some amount of contrast going in there, so I just want to give it a color of white. Text color should be white. Padding, I don't need to give it a padding in there. Let's save this part and let's see how it looks like. Okay, this looks kind of cool, but I don't think this button is really standing out from the crowd. So I'm just going to make the button or background of the button slightly lighter than the previous one. Let's save this and see in here. Okay, the button is standing out in there. And quickly I just want to increase the font size little bit. Font size should be 16 pixel, and font weight, I just want to increase font weight also, font weight to bolder. Okay, and I want to change my cursor to pointer, should be pointer. So this is kind of good design. Let's see how was our previous design. Okay, was same as this one. Yeah, it was same, but the width of our form is really small in there, in this form, in this page which we are currently building up. So if you see here, if you watch carefully, there is little bit of margin, that's basically same margin between our two input fields. I don't want the same margin in there also, so I'm going to give it a margin top of 1 rem, so margin will be increased in here. Yeah, slightly increased margin is creating a great style difference in here. After this I have really changed the font color, I hope. Yeah, I guess I changed. Yeah, I obviously changed, and I just want to change the font size also in here. Let's change the font size to 15 pixel. I don't know what was its default font size, but 15 pixel is kind of awesome. This one is of 16 pixel, not a very good difference. Yeah, it's really standing out in here. Okay, I want to increase the width in here. For that I'm going to inside our contact container, and I'm going to give it a max width of 1000 pixels. So it's actually 1000 pixel, so the container should not be more than 1000 pixel wider. Yeah, that's basically what I want. And I will give it a normal width of 90%. So what I'm really saying in here, you probably have guessed, or you probably have understood from reading this. So I just want to make our container to be 90% of our width. So our contact container will take 90% of the width of our screen or window. But if the 90% is 90% of our screen width is larger than 1000 pixel, then it's not gonna take all 90%. It's going to stick to 1000 pixel only. So that's what I wanted to build up in there. And right now I think we are done with our contact form. Right now if I'll go to smaller width, smaller devices, there the form is not that much responsive. So I'm not going to save here. I'm going to show you how this looks like in smaller devices. Okay, this is how it looks like in smaller devices. Really kind of weird design, and all the elements are popping up out of their original position, and we are just going to fix it with one line of code. Yeah, obviously one line of code, only one line of code, and that's obviously removing the image from there or hiding image from there. Display none, and it's gonna make our contact form look like this. Yeah, now we have really created our contact form successfully. Let's see how it looks like inside our iPhone. Yeah, it looks cool. And inside our iPhone X, yep, it looks cool in there also. Pixel, yeah, it looks cool. So that's it for this video. We have really created our contact form successfully, and in the next video I'll show you how to actually send email through this contact form using HTML only. So stay tuned for that video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't